What up, besties? It's your girl Sheridan, and I'm back with yet another video. Hey, y'all. Okay, listen, we got a real quick talk about Belle Collective before my camera dies, y'all. I'm sorry, but let's get into it. All right, we start out this episode with JJ and So Gucci. I really hate the fact that this lady name is So Gucci. And then didn't she tell us that the mama called her something, but it wasn't Sophia. So Gucci, what is your real name? Is it Shantae? Is it Sophia? I don't know. Anyway, so JJ's mom is about to move in with him and So Gucci. JJ is so doggone country. Like, I already knew he was country. I mean, they're from Jackson, Mississippi. Shout out to Bring It. It's nothing wrong with being country. It's just so funny. That man says, God darn so much. It is so funny to me. I love it. And so he's excited that his mom is coming to be with them. And he's like, my mom can cook and help out around the house and everything. And so Gucci feels like he needs to give his mom a timeline, which I do kind of agree with. But I do have a question. So, Gucci, are you complaining about every single woman that is in his life, or yeah? All right. So anyway, his mom pulls up and she's already mic'd up and she is out. She come in blowing the horn and she looks super young. And when we see her on camera, I said, okay, Mama JJ with your 1993 Spice Girls choker on. I see you. And so JJ says that his mom likes to rearrange stuff, but please do not pick up the plastic off of his rug. You can't rub that. You gotta blot that. I said, not the plastic on the rug. I would have expected that on the couch, but on the rug, JJ, like, child. His mom seems to be very loud, overbearing, and demanding. So this should be very interesting to watch. Latrice wants to talk to Cliff about boundaries, and I'm just, I don't know. I want to say to Latrice, dear Latrice, it is public eye. Okay? Public eye. And so Cliff feels like Latrice was bogus for going out with Josh after he kicked him out. And he does make a good point in that if I give someone a place to stay, I do expect them to be respectful. I feel like he wanted Latrice to terminate her friendship with Josh, because he feels that Josh disrespected their marriage, which in a sense he kind of did. Like, there's no way you should be coming and living in somebody's house and talking down on their marriage. That is crazy. At the same time, though, he would have nothing to talk about if Latrice didn't bring up their marital woes to him. See how that worked? At the same time, he does have this caveman type of mentality about relationships, and she no longer agrees with it. Clearly, at the beginning, Latrice was in agreement, and now she is not. So she feels like, I'm sorry. She says she feels like she the perfect wife for him, and he chuckled. Not her feeling like she the perfect wife, and he is a flawed husband. But anyway, he says that he put her on to where she is today. And she said, you acting like you made me. And he said, I didn't make you. I help you make yourself. And I would agree with the latter statement. Latrice, I think because in so many areas of her life, she never fought, that she fights hard to have her identity as this businesswoman, because Lord knows she ain't got no identity just as this man's wife. I think that's what it is. And so I think season 1, she told us he didn't give her the money to start up her shop. Goddess Length, she did it on her own. And so that's why she, like, you acting like you made me. You ain't had nothing to do with this. This was all her and God. Akeisha and her 2003 Kitty Perm hairstyle, Marie, and So Gucci meet up for brunch. They talk about Glenn showing up to Letitia's apartment, we found out that Latrice is having an event and she invited Marie. Girl, Latrice is so fake. I can't deal with Latrice. Like, girl, in the words of Nene Leakes, is your wig squeezing your brain too tight? Like, what is this about? Anyway, so she said that Latrice is a child in a woman's body, which I can see. And so Gucci inserts this jab and says, Daddy got to finish raising her. I said, ooh. Ooh. Baby, that was cold. So Gucci still can't stand Latrice, and I completely understand, and I don't blame her. Next, we see Glenn and Cliff meet up. Glenn is Glenning and Cliff is Cliffing, and I just can't take them. So, Glenn seems like he can't handle Latrice's success because he felt like after the DNA test proved that he was not the father, they should get back together. But my question to you is, did you stop answering DMs? Because the problem wasn't just the baby. It's the fact that you could have fathered a child. It's the fact that you cheated, not just physically, but you have been cheating social medially. What's the word you use for that? Like, get out folks' DMs, Glenn. Yes, people be in your DM, but you respond in a way that is dishonorable and disrespectful to your wife. So he tells us that he puts a recorder in her truck and finds out about the apartment. So that's how he found out the apartment Marie got for her. You Negroes are sick in the head. So you cheat on me and I'm the one who needs to be tracked? Make it make sense. Like, my brain literally glitched listening to this foolishness. And second of all, this man can't talk. It's incognito, not incognito. And what is Believe? Glenn, shut up. So anyway, he and Letitia aren't having sex. And he said their bedroom sounds like crickets. Cliff says, maybe you need to get some sex classes. If it sounds like crickets, what? And I said, no, he don't need that. Apparently, he know how to have the sex activities because he out here getting women's pregnant. And I said women's on purpose. Cliff says, maybe you should dress like a woman to solve the problem. And both me and Glenn are confused. Like, what? Glenn says that he's sexually frustrated, of course, and he claims that they have not had sex since the reunion and he is no longer cheating. Glenn, I'm glad he said in the confessional he knows he can't put a timeline on somebody's feeling. And you can't, because you've been out here with your little tugboat for years. Years. So for 1 year, she put you on freeze, and now she's the bad guy. Glenn, if you don't get yours, get out my face. So Latrice's mom comes over to cook with her. We find out that the food has to be done when Cliff comes home, and her mother says he could kick himself. I didn't like that. Latrice, let me ask you this. What did you sign up for? What did you agree to? What was the vows? What was the agreement? Because at some point, the cooking when he got home was cool. When was it no longer okay? Because I feel like sometimes we as women, we set the precedents for what men should expect in a marriage. And I'm sure it was cool when y'all first got together because you was young and he's all you know. But when you set the precedents, now see, that's why when I first get married, I don't want to cook every night because I don't want you to think I'm about to be doing this at year 50. I don't want to. And so her mom feels like she's not happy and she shouldn't bow down to him and she shouldn't listen to him. And I don't feel qualified to have this conversation. I am not married. I do think certain things will happen in a May-December relationship, especially when the people are from the South. And so, as a single person, I don't feel qualified to have this conversation, so I'm moving on. Akeisha meets up with her paternal aunt, who is her mom now, to discuss their businesses. For someone to have been calling the women on this show ugly, season 1, I would expect for you, Akeisha, to always be on point. I hated your wig. It was very wiggy. Very wiggy. And I get that you tried to pull it back for like a whole business chic look, but I hated it. Your hair this whole episode was just not it. But you know what? To God be the glory for the things that he has done. Akeisha has proposed to create a entertainment district on Fair Street, and I just feel like Akeisha watched season 1 of this show and stole Letitia's entire idea and storyline. Does anybody else feel like that? Because what, like, we knew she had connections on Fair Street, right? I feel that if you knew you had the connections on Fair Street, okay, why didn't you do it before Belle Collective? And now that you saw the season of Belle Collective, why wouldn't you bring Letitia in on what you're actually doing, since what you're doing is what she came up with? Like, is anybody else confused as to how she just stole Letitia's outfit idea right from up under her on her show? Anyway, she talks about being a product of an extramarital affair, and she starts crying but look at God, like, you started out being rejected. I guess her dad, had an affair on his wife, and there she was born. And but thank God your auntie came to get you, because now you in the lineage of the rich folks. So look at God, won't he do it? The devil meant it for bad, but we're so glad God meant it for your good. Anyway, we see that Glenn starts rapping to get Letitia back. He said he been rapping forever, and Letitia definitely has been supporting his rap career, and they showed us pictures, and I'm just like, okay. He's in the studio with the Great Value version of Will I Am with his sunglasses, and they in there, JJ come in and they in there. I said, Glendale, be for real. Be for real. You're 117 and you're a tugboater. Why are you rapping? So anyway, after he gets out the booth, he goes and sits down, and he starts to reenact the scene where someone from his family called him to let him know that his grandmother was in the hospital. I say it's a reenaction because Glendale is not the best actor, and he's like, huh? What? Grandma? Hospital? Huh? It's a serious situation, but I feel like he was reenacting that conversation. So he goes to Letitia at the office, and they together call the family and finds out that his grandmother is on hospice, and he asks her to, ride with him to go see his grandmother, and of course she obliges because she's going to go and see about her husband. So I don't know if his grandmother is still with us or not. But I think that it was the right thing to do for Letitia to go and, be with their family. They have been married for years. And so for everybody who's telling her she needs to either leave him alone or be with him, listen, it's only been a year. It's only been a year where they have been, dealing with whether or not she's going to be with him. I feel like she is well within her right to take her time and figure it out and make the best decision for her and her child. And none of y'all need to rush her. Some of y'all have stayed with Negroes for less. But anyway, thank y'all for watching. Let me know down below what y'all thought of tonight's episode. Baby, not next week. So Gucci and Selena about to get into it. foundation didn't look like it was matching. I don't know what's going on, but I love me some Selena, so I can't wait to see whose side I'm gonna be on. But anyway, thank y'all for watching. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. I love y'all, besties. Bye.